Hello everyone, seems like you guys like to talk thoughts a lot. So here's another one for you. This one is going to be on we forgetting our worth over time. Sooner or later, it is going to happen. To everyone, each and every one of you, it has happened or will be happening. Now, very simple example that I'm going to give you. So when we were very young, not like young like 14 years old young, when we were young as 5, 6 years old, we all had a goal. We all had an ambition. Everyone used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we all had something special. Like, I want to join the army. I want to become a scientist. I want to become a pilot. I want to become an astronaut. Something big. Then over time, years passed, fast forward to you 18 years old, and you became very reasonable. You grew up. And then you started to take wise, reasonable decisions. And then you looked at the probability. What is the career which is going to give me a good life, a safe career? What is the path that most of the people are following? What is the recent trend? And then you'll say that I'll do engineering. Not saying that doing engineering is bad. I'm a very proud engineer myself. But doing engineering is super bad if you don't really want to do it. So we choose a career path that we want to follow according to the society. Now, why did it all change from 6 years old you to 18 years old you? You were tainted by the environment. All the information that you have gotten from the surrounding itself. Very obvious. Now, some of us, even past their 18, even in their 20s, even in their late 20s, their early 30s, maybe even after that, we do manage to live with the same sparkle in our eyes we had back when we were 5 years old. Some of us still live with ambitions, aim, big goal, believe that I can do it. There are some people who can do it, very few, but there are certain. But even they will sooner or later start listening to the environment, because it is obvious we human beings live in a community, and sooner or later we start to believe it. They make more sense. It's a natural reflex. There are more, they're saying it, I'm the only one, maybe they're right and I'm wrong. And we succumb to it. We buckle under what they're saying and we shift our whole trajectory. Ask yourself, how much have you already been tainted because of what the environment is telling you? What you're seeing in the normal media, what your parents are saying, what your environment, what your friends are saying, and how much have you shifted your goal because of that? You have to ask these things. Have you stopped thinking big because of the environment, because of 20 years of living in the society? Because this is very important and this is something that most people don't do. They don't sit down and think alone. We like to have chit chats, we like to watch movies, we watch TV series, we talk to friends, we talk to our parents over phone call or whatever it might be. We talk, we interact a lot, but when was the last time that you sat down alone and thought about where your life is going? Very few of us actually does it. So until unless you do it, all that is happening is you being modified into what the society wants you to be. And you're not thinking for yourself. So number one, you have to sit down and think independent of the society. Take their advice, not the decisions that they are giving you. You have to take the decisions yourself. That is one thing. Now, let us take an example that you are in a hall and there are 100 people in that hall. Let us say 1,000. Big hall. You want to become an ISRO scientist. Simple example. How many of those 1,000 people do you think are actually ISRO scientists? If it is a common crowd. All right. So if you look at the probability, there will be like 2 to 3 people who have achieved the position of ISRO scientist, maybe through their academics, and they're working over there. Now let us play a game. You randomly walk to a person and ask that person, is cracking ISRO interview easy or difficult? Or is it possible for a person who is having a very average score in their 11th and 12th, maybe failed in some subjects, can that person still become an ISRO scientist? The probability that it will be an ISRO scientist is like 2 out of 1,000. And the probability that it is not an ISRO scientist of a random person that you pick is somewhere around like 997 out of 1,000. Very high. So what we human beings generally do is get to these people most of the time, and we never actually get to those people who have actually done it. And based on this majority, we are shaping our decisions. So it is actually a wrong way to decide anything in your life, to look at majority, because majority will always have the herd mentality. And okay, do what you're told to do, follow this, follow this, follow this. It's as simple as that. They are never going to think big, and majority is surrounding you. So sooner or later, you will be tainted. All that I'm saying is that you have to be careful. And whenever that happens, and whenever you find yourself thinking smaller, then you have to sit down alone and think about what was your objective when you started. Now let's get into this one. When we start, let us say 18 years old, I'm going to become an ISRO scientist. Sorry for lame examples again, but I can relate to it. That is why I'm giving it. All right, 18 years old, I want to become an ISRO scientist. You have that goal, feels very good that, okay, in 4 years, I'll be in ISRO. All right, I'll be a rocket scientist. What happens is now the problems are going to start to pop in. And the more problem that happens, the more you forget about why you started. And you start looking at those problems, and then you start thinking that maybe I won't be making it. So when you start your journey, at that time the goal is very clear, seems very good. It's very beautiful that, okay, in 4 years I'll be achieving this and I'll be here, my life will be better. But what happens is when you start walking, the problem starts to come in. There's problem in any path, no matter what you do. So problem starts to pop in, and this is something that you did not look at when you had that good big goal in your head that I'm going to achieve this. So when the problem starts to happen, some you jump over and some just stumbles you. The ones that stumble you starts to demotivate you a little bit. Okay. And these setbacks, okay, maybe I was not correct when I was thinking that I can achieve this. Maybe it's not for me. And then the environment starts to play its role. But yeah, majority of the people don't really make it. And then you start thinking, okay, yeah, they're right. So the first level of tarnish is from the environment, and the second level is your own thought, which is actually magnified by the environment again. So you have to be very careful when you're pursuing anything. Whenever you're having a big goal, you have to be very careful about everything around you convincing you that you can't really do it. That should not be the reason for you to change the whole trajectory. That is all that I'm saying. And it has happened to me. It has happened to everyone. I'm sure everyone at some point thinks that, okay, let's just have a simple life. Let's just forget about the whole thing. That was childish behavior. Let's just think reasonably. And that's exactly what you should not do. I've said it before, you should be smart enough to be dumb sometimes. Being smart all the time, being reasonable all the time is not actually good for you to achieve big things, because reasonable people will not take any risk, and without risk you cannot achieve anything big. If you're just a pragmatic person thinking everything, okay, this is what I should be doing, I should be studying right now for this, then I should be cracking that examination, then I should be working over here, then the promotion is best like this, higher studies like this, investment over here, life insurance, family, kids and all that, just the way that seems reasonable. Sometimes you have to think out of the box, and that's when you have to be dumb, because a dumb person does not think about the 10 steps that are going to be taken. That dumb person only looks at the next step, which is in front of you. And that is the only certain step. 9 steps have various parallel universes. It can be anything. Until unless you are on the 8th step, you can never find out what you're going to do in the 9th step. So how about just focus on the first step right now? So these are the things that I wanted to share. You have your own opinions, put it down in the comment section. You have questions, put it down in the comment section. I love the comment section of Talk Thoughts. I always enjoy it. I read each and every comment. I respond to each and every one of them. So I hope that you enjoyed some of it. You learned some of it. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that some of you guys will start thinking big. I wanted this whole video to be in one shot because I don't really take cuts. I don't really have any script in my hand. But the planes in Bangalore go crazy in some days of the week. So there's an airbase close by, and they just skyrocket all the jet planes through your ears. So I don't want you to have that in your background noise. So I had to take pauses in those situations. But like I said, any opinions down in the comment section. My second YouTube channel is how to improve your spoken skills and about rocket science. Both of things extremely close to me. If you want to check it out, link down in the description box. That's about it. Thank you for listening. If you think that I was wrong, let me know that as well in the comment section. I'm very open-minded, open for all opinions. That's about it. See you next time. Till then, bye.